Hello one and all, my name is stewpassmore. Today is the 8th of May 2022. Today is going to be a great day. Started it off with a bang already. I just registered for PADI Advanced Open Water. Takes place next month. Can't fucking wait. It's starting to warm up out here finally. Still feeling like I'm defrosting from the winter. Canada is just like 7 months of just the most ridiculous cold you've ever seen, but today's video, I'm going to be talking about some problems I had going vegan because this comes up a lot in chat groups, and it seems to go in a lot of different ways. And I think the vegan environmentalist movement has been totally hijacked, and it's not about caring for animals, and it's not about protecting the planet. There's a word that I heard someone call Justin Trudeau. They called him a watermelon, which means that he is green on the outside and red on the inside. So it's like, that's pretty funny. I thought I would just start the video with that. So I came prepared actually today. I have like notes and intro, some obstacles I faced, and a conclusion. So I made a lot of mistakes going vegan because when you're raised carnivore, it's like a world of difference. Everything changes. You can't even wear the same clothes. And there's a lot of hidden ingredients that you're going to have to watch out for. So I had rocky beginnings. I went in with pretty much no knowledge whatsoever. I would always cook vegetarian food. Like I started going vegetarian a bit more than vegan. And then I just said, you know what? Just screw it. I'll just go all the way and do it for a month. And if I make it through a month, I'll just see where I'm at and reevaluate from there. So one of the biggest obstacles is getting adapted to taking supplements. I was never a person who took supplements in my entire life. I figured you could get all of your ingredients from the food you eat or from the water and the nutrition that comes from that. But when you go vegan, there is a large chance that you're going to need to supplement some stuff. So here's what I take. I take omega-3, I take B12, I take vitamin D, and I take vitamin C. I don't take them every day, but I usually switch on and off. I'll do a C and D on one day, and then the next day I'll do an omega-3 and a B12. So omega-3, the ones I take are actually not vegan, so I'm not like 100% vegan, but it's pretty strict, especially when you're at home. Now, if I'm on the road and you're just trying to eat something and not starve and not be a total pain in the ass to the people you're with, like, sure, go ahead and have some baked goods that contain butter and milk. I'm not super strict and I'm not really preachy about this stuff because people are so divided as it is already. And I see veganism as a real big issue, especially in the freedom/choice community, if you could even call it that. So you're going to have to get used to taking supplements, and it's a big thing because you might forget, and if you're not really used to doing it, it's such a strange thing to have a routine of like taking things, and when you travel you have to pack all your pills, and it's a new thing that you're going to have to get used to. Restaurant food. Here in Canada, I believe the vegan population is only about 2 to 4%. Israel is by far the biggest country, and you can see this on my podcast I did with Frank Hoffman. Israel has a vegan population that's almost 1 in 3, so 30 to 33%. It hasn't really grown that much in Canada. The vegan segments in the country that have grown are the vegan junk food segments, which non-vegans are going to like too. So if you have vegan donuts, like, you don't have to be vegan to actually enjoy that, or vegan ice cream, like, this is not the real thing. So it's extremely difficult to eat out, and your social situation is going to be really tough too. Now, more and more restaurants are adding vegan options, like, but the problem is they'll use the same grills and the same pots and pans they use to cook the beef or the chicken, etc. So it's not really vegan, and it's just, there's so many of the restaurants that I like to go to, they all closed down during the lockdowns, especially the first wave where it was just, there was no financial aid forthcoming. So they had to eventually just pack their bags up, and none of them have really reopened. It's not really a good time to go vegan if you're totally fresh and you don't know what you're doing. So the prices. Now, some vulture profiteers apparently have made veganism into some like super expensive thing where it never had to be like that whatsoever. there's all these fake imitation items that I really wouldn't recommend at all. Like, you're not supposed to be eating pepperoni pizzas as a vegan, and vegan poutine and all this absolute garbage food. Let it speak for itself. Vegan food is fantastic, especially if you know what you're doing. And the people that are really pushing vegan products in the stores, they're really raising their prices to a point that's just absolutely absurd. There's no reason for vegan food to cost this much, but there's such a wave of people doing it, and people are just really jumping on the bandwagon. And the people who are doing this are, a lot of them are like college students or people who are pretty well off, and they have enough time to kind of change their diets and try new things. Like, not everyone can really do that. Many people are just kind of set in their ways, in the way that they were raised, and they don't really have any time or money to really change up what they're doing. So the profiteering and the prices are just gouging, in my opinion. And this goes with regular food too. Like, when it comes to organic, I've always had a real problem with that. Like, the organic section, that's how it's correctly grown. But when it's 10 times more expensive, there's really no point in always buying organic. If it's your birthday or you're celebrating a big event, sure, like, go all organic. But if you live in Canada, you know what I mean when it comes to food prices. So there's a huge bandwagon, and the price profiteering really bothers me. So the nutrition part. Now, what I said before, going on that, like, this is a massive, massive change. You can't go from eating meat, eating dairy, eating eggs every day to just cold turkey and expect everything to be fine. You're going to feel lethargic. You're going to feel weird. You're going to feel sick and dizzy. So don't do that, you know. Slowly, gradually try vegan food and see if you even like it. Maybe you don't even like it, you know. And I would never really push anyone in this direction. I've stuck with it, and I haven't really looked back, you know. It's the same with when I ditched tobacco. I forget I even was addicted to nicotine for like 12 years. So I know all the places to go in the grocery stores. I skip entire sections, and that's a really great part of being vegan. Your shopping's a lot easier, and you're pretty much forced to learn how to cook. And if you don't know how to cook, definitely practice your knife skills. Definitely practice using all the machines in your kitchen. Super, super important to be a competent cook, because not everywhere is going to have vegan food. I was at the frickin' trucker convoy, and I made a video trying to find vegan food. And before I made that video, I actually thought there would be someone there making like vegan hot dogs or hamburgers or something, but nope, not going to happen, not in Canada. It's probably getting better in Europe, and in England and in Germany, a lot of people, those were my big influences when I was going vegetarian at the start. Just one or two words someone says has like the most huge impact on your life. And I remember these two German girls in New Zealand. They were vegetarian, and back then I didn't even think it was possible to be a vegetarian and an athlete. So I was grilling them on, I was like, so why are your teeth like sharp? That's meant for grinding meat. And they had an answer for every single thing I asked them. And I was shook after that. And I never really forgot that moment. I just thought I would go into that story. But moving on, here's a big one that's a real detractor for a lot of people. Fear of what other people think. This is a huge barrier for a lot of people in more than just their choices of what they eat. Now, people can't even speak out against evil, because when you go against the consensus trance, your social circle and your family are going to see you as a threat immediately. Simply just try and talk to them about even just like the fluoride, the rat poison that they dump in your water systems. People think that drinking rat poison is an actual good thing, so just understand that it's going to cause quite a big fuss in your social and family life. And I'm just being real here. Like, it's not just going to be like snap your fingers, and unless you have a really conscious family and they are open-minded and open to learning new things, and vegetable lovers, which are, very few and far between. One of the biggest piss-offs is the hidden ingredients that a lot of companies use in their products. Like, honey is one that's not vegan. You can't even really wear normal shoes anymore. Like, you can't wear suede shoes, leather shoes. I still have like a leather wallet and leather watch, but like, I'm not just in a rush to get rid of all this stuff. I'm not going to buy a new leather watch or new leather shoes, but these are things that are not vegan, so you can't really call yourself a vegan and go ahead and buy suede shoes and stuff. One of the things that tripped me up at the start was the suede shoes. I didn't know that companies actually used real animal leather on like skateboard shoes and stuff like that, because I thought that would cost like $500. I was at the Italian shoe store with my uncle Tony, and he went and bought a pair of shoes, and they were like $500 for these like nice Italian dress shoes. So I figured it was fake suede like the entire time I skated. I had no idea it was not vegan. So that's just something that most people are probably going to wise up to a lot faster than I did. But, you know, there are no vegan grocery stores anywhere you go. Every single grocery store in Canada, the United States, everywhere will have meat products. So people who say that veganism is growing, you'd figure that at least like 1 out of every 100 would be vegan, but they're not. Every grocery store flyer has a giant cut of meat on the front, and it's full of dairy, and it's full of, it might have a good vegan section, but that's really about it when it comes to the grocery stores. This is something I think really needs to evolve in when it comes to veganism, because a vegan Aldi would be a huge hit around anywhere. Now, Aldi is the discount grocery store. It was in New Zealand, Australia, and they're all around Europe. They're coming to America too. Like there's a lot in the US, and I hope they come to Canada soon, because we need some more competition for this Loblaws monopoly. They own pretty much damn near every piece of food and beverage you're gonna get in the grocery store setting. So they even own T&T, which is the super Asian supermarket. So Loblaws, they need some serious competition. So, you know, just to conclude this video, I would suggest, you know, reading about veganism and reading about problems that other people went through. This is something I wish I did. You're definitely going to want to get some hardback vegan cookbooks. I always prefer the physical copy of books because it just inspires you. If you have a vegan cookbook in your general vicinity, you're always going to be thinking about it and knowing that it's there. You're never going to be able to cook as many recipes as is in the cookbook, so it's a good idea just to have around, just so you can have some salad dressing recipes, some quinoa and parsley salad recipes, and just whatever you need, like burgers, some junk food in case other people come over. And that's one of the good things, is that you can make food that tastes good for everybody and just so happens to be vegan, you know. Go slowly at the start. What I did was I went vegetarian first, so I just kept dairy and eggs in my diet, but, you know, no meat, nothing like that. And listen to your body. You really have to get in tune with what your body needs, and if it's saying no, you know, you're gonna have to not go with some things. Like one of the things that my body rejects is rice sometimes. So I still love eating rice, but I just eat it in smaller quantities because I just feel like it just doesn't really work with me, and I feel like it's just rejecting it. So listen to your body, and it's going to talk to you. So you're going to have a good communication with this. Work on your cooking skills. You're definitely going to want to learn how to chop. Definitely get fast. Gordon Ramsay has a really good video on how to chop onions, how to chop peppers, and learn how to dice, learn how to julienne, learn how to do everything that a normal cook would do, because this is super important. This goes for anyone, vegan, vegetarian, omnivore, whatever. Like, this is just a super important skill that I feel like no one really knows anymore. Like, we're losing our ability to do things, and we really have to just get back in the kitchen and start making great food. So, and even if this video doesn't really hit you very hard, like, just do what you can. Like, this is the same as being a breatharian. Like, breatharianism is just eating very little or not at all. You don't actually have to eat at all. I would suggest not starting out with something that strong, but, you know, vegetarians, just do what you can to reduce the, you know, animal suffering or environmental suffering. So you don't have to go all in on veganism, but it's coming out more and more. Like, we have the science on our side that vegan diets are very healthy, but you also have to know what you're doing. And there's a lot I covered in this video, and I could cover any point specifically, like how to keep the prices down, how to avoid certain circles of people, because I always remembered vegans being like hippie people who are more like yoga, qigong, spiritual types, but now there's a lot of just hipster fucking retards, and I don't like a lot of them. So, you know, there's a lot of people who are vegan and they're not really good examples of what it is to, you know, be in that community or whatever. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hit subscribe, hit like down below, and I'll have more for you soon. So until next time, guys, peace out.